and welcome to the Nasty Metal Production channel here at YouTube. Of course, it's a hot day, so I got my cooler going. So, here we are with another album review, and it's for a band titled Blizzen, which are a German metal band, which of course are a new band to be a part of the new wave of traditional heavy metal movement that's still going strong. Now, of course, Blizzen, of course, like I said, are from Germany. They were formed in 2014, released a demo in 2014, then they get signed to High Roller Records, to then releasing their debut EP in 2015, titled Time Machine, which I did listen to. And there's only one track off that EP that made it onto this album, which is their debut full-length album, which is, of course, released through High Roller Records. And it was released yesterday, which was May 27th, and the album is titled Genesis Reversed. It's definitely a 11-track affair, clocking in almost around 50 minutes. 50 minutes! So it's definitely an extended album in a way. Just pretty long, but not too long. Probably around the same length as like Ram's Subversum. Yeah, that was a bit hard to say. So, what's Blizzen sound? They're definitely, sure they're from Germany, but their sound is more closer to that Swedish metal sound. And this album right here is definitely no exception. They sound more like a Swedish band than really a German band. Definitely with Daniel Stecky, I mean. His singing is definitely more melodic, which is definitely something that's common with a lot of Swedish heavy metal bands. And so, don't expect a whole lot of running wild. Don't expect a whole lot of accept. I mean, there is some riffage that's very close to accept, but not too much. Especially with tracks such as The Beast Is On Your Back, which definitely does have that German sort of feel to it. Yeah. So, the album starts off with Anthem to a Distant Star, which is an acoustic piece, but also serves as a intro to the track Trumpets of the Gods, which is a pretty good track. It's definitely, kicks the album in good, good high energy in a bit, good fashion. Now, I know what the lyrics are pretty much about, but, because I don't know, it's just one of those kind of supernatural sort of instances, whatever, like, I can't really say too much on it, because I'll have to, it requires a lot of, looking into a lot of history, and I forgot pretty much about it, but I just wasn't feeling about really diving into the whole, piece of it, would just require looking up a whole lot of, shit on the whole phenomenon. I forgot what it's about. People hearing weird sounds, whatever, that pretty much happen in a few cities, whatever. It's some, I guess, can be back to fucking aliens, whatever. Completely, it's pretty much that, which is interesting. That Blizzen really took on this sort of, idea for their lyrics. Definitely cool. But as the album goes on, it's definitely got a good, pacing. There's definitely some good, variety, I guess, if you can say. It's just good pacing. Some tracks definitely have that little energetic part. Some are a little more melodic. Some are a little slow in places. Some, they definitely kind of keep the flow going through the album. So everything, up to Skid to Death is just a good album, solid. Really the tracks that stick out at me are Trumpets of the Gods, The Beast Is On Your Back, which has got a bit of a Saxon feeling to it, kind of like later Saxon, something that would maybe even be pretty good on like Battering Ram. Of course, we got the title track, which is also pretty good. Masters of Lightning, which is another really great track. It's definitely kind of you know, a little energetic track, but it's got a real good riff to it. Gone Wild, which is actually, like I said, you know, when I said that there's a, you know, a track off the Time Machine that made it onto there, it's Gone Wild, which is, actually, I kind of like this version better than the version that appears on Time Machine, but yeah. And then we got Best Ride the Thunder, which is another real killer track. This is probably the longest track on here, because most of the tracks pretty much clock around the 4 or 5 minute mark, but here this pretty much clocks around 6 minutes. So it's definitely a pretty good melodic, you know, mid-paced number. Then we get Skid to Death, which is, of course, ends it on a real, you know, real good, solid number. But Best Ride the Thunder, I might have mistaken for a, you know, mid-paced track. It's definitely a bit more speedier, but whatever. So, really, not a bad album. I think just some good writing here. It's definitely not your typical, you know, we fight for metal type of lyrics. There's definitely a little more thought put into the lyrics on here. You know, definitely pretty good. So, with that, what's my rating for this album? It's a 7.5 out of 10 because of, even though the album is definitely solid, there are still some hiccups, but this is a band to really look forward to, and I think this band really will put out a real killer album. It's like they've got the chop to do that, but here, maybe not yet. Maybe they haven't found their voice yet, but we'll see. We'll see with subsequent, you know, releases. We'll see how the band progresses. So, with that said, if you have heard this album, what are your thoughts? If you have any thoughts, you can post your comments down below. If you haven't heard this album yet, you can always listen to it and then come back and say, you know, your thoughts. So until then, this is Heavy Thrasher saying I'm out. I'll see you later.